In this video, we're going to be creating an interlocking letter logo in Canva. We are going to be using two different fonts today, which is an effective way to communicate very different styles coming together. A lovely contrast. This is really easy to do and totally adaptable to your brand by changing the fonts, colors, and letters that you use. I'm Gigi from Spotted Hat Design. I help new business owners create professional logos using simple step-by-step tutorials in Canva. Let's jump in. Okay, so we are going to be creating this great letter logo today, interlocking letters, where this gorgeous C is able to weave its way in and out of the E. Now, this is really effective using two different fonts because you really get to then play with two very different kinds of feelings. So let's jump right into Canva and we'll show you how we made this logo. All right, so open up canva.com in a new tab, go down to logo, and we are going to create a blank logo there. Okay, so on your brand new blank page, you are going to be going over to text and adding a text box there. And in your text box, you are going to type your single letter, which is an E, and we are going to make sure that is highlighted, and we're going to go over and select a nice strong base font, which we have chosen All Rounder. If you see the crown icon, that means it is a premium font. We have the premium subscription, which we found well worth it, but there are several other fonts to choose from if you are working on the free version. So just find one that works for you. We're going to go over to text color and choose a lovely deep midnight blue. Find one that works for your brand. And then we're going to resize it nice and big in the center of our page. Remember, you've got your positions, which will help you with arranging your layers in the middle, in the center, shall I say. There we have it. Right, now we're going to be creating the C. So we are going to, you can either just add a new text box or you can copy this existing one. So we're going to go over to duplicate, make sure it's highlighted. We're going to change the font to a more cursive one. So we've gone with this one, and we're going to change the letter to C. Now it is obviously giant size, so you can resize it here. I'm just going to start with 100. And then you can bring it over here. Now I'd like it slightly bigger, so I'm going to try 120. And this again is just trial and error. That looks great. And then we obviously want to differentiate it by having a different color. So we have a pre-selected brand color for us there. All right, so that's already looking pretty good. Nice and basic, but we are wanting to get that little bit more of the dynamic of the interaction between the two letters. So layering it essentially. So this is nice and simple. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that that is selected. We're going to duplicate it. So you can either do the keyboard shortcut of Control-C or you can go over to duplicate. And we are going to make sure we add a page. And we're going to move that down, drag and drop to the bottom. Take a note of which page number that's on. So that's page 4. We're going to go up here to share. And we are going to click on download, transparent background. I'm going to make it slightly larger. And I'm just making sure everything is deselected and then only selecting your current page. So making sure that page 4 is selected. Okay, so essentially while this is downloading, that's going to go to your download folder. So I'll just explain what we're doing as I'm downloading it. Essentially what we are doing is we are wanting to now be able to manipulate this a little bit more, and that's not going to work while we have a text item, a text box. So we are essentially taking a screenshot and turning this into an image, which will be easier to then work with. Okay, next step is to make sure this is selected, and we are going to send this right to the back so that it is sitting right behind our E. Okay, now we are going to import the other one and put it on top. So we're going to go down to uploads, we're going to upload files, go to downloads, and then I'm going to click on it and just click open. You will see it loading here. And then you just simply click on it to import it in. Now, what I like to do is I like to drag in these middle handles to reduce some of the negative space. That makes it easier when you are trying to make adjustments. And now what we're going to do is we're going to resize it so that it is exactly the same size as your original letter. Okay, it's still not quite right there. This takes careful adjustment. You can use your zoom bar at the bottom here to make sure that you're getting it just right. This can be a bit fiddly, but it is worth it in the long run to have a really accurate, correct size. Okay, that's looking great. All right, so now we're going to zoom out so we can see the whole page again. And what we're going to do now is, you remember the previous one, remember that one was just behind at the back there. This one is now placed just on top. And all we're going to do now is make sure the top one is selected. We're going to use the middle handles, which are the cropping ones. And we are going to make sure that this is cropped out. So that is now going behind, in front, and we want this bottom one to go behind. So we're going to lift that as well. There we have it. Lovely weaving C through both of those. So there you've got your letter logo with two different fonts. Really elegant and effective. What we're going to do now is the final finish off. We're going to go up to share. Take a note, it's page 3. We are going to download, slightly bigger, transparent background, and we're going to make sure that page 3 is selected, and we're going to go to our downloads folder so that we've got our PNG file there. Right, so there you've got a lovely logo all ready to go with two different fonts, really elegant and effective. Now this works very well as a simple basic. If you want to take it a step further, what you can do, we don't need that anymore, so we're going to delete that. What you can do now is you can upload a file. You can upload your logo that you've just downloaded. There it is. We're going to put it in there. Remember, this is now not a text box anymore. This is literally, you can use it like an image. Make sure it's nicely tightly cropped so that you can center it in the middle. Let's resize that nice and big actually. And then you can center it in the middle of your page. And what you can do now is you can edit image, and now you can add all sorts of different effects on it. A simple one is to add a drop shadow onto it, and there are several adjustments that you can make. Yeah. And that can work as you see fit. Okay, so these are ways that you can just add the final flourish onto them. You can do loads of special effects there using Canva's effects. Okay, and if you want to add anything onto it, don't forget your final step is to go and download it. Transparent background, page 4, and that will go to your download folder. So there you've got your interlocking logo. You now have an elegant and professional interlocking letter logo all created in Canva. Thanks for joining us. If you are wanting a slightly different style of interlocking letter logo, be sure to check out this video here and follow along with our channel where we create simple step-by-step tutorials all done in Canva.